This objective is about scalar and matrix multiplication. How do we multiply matrices and the scalar? What is scalar? Scalar is the value that we multiply each matrix with. Scalar notation is always going to be lowercase letter, always lowercase letter. And we multiply each element in a matrix with the scalar. For example, I have a matrix A and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the general form of scalar multiplication is always make sure the small letter, the scalar value comes first and then the matrix. That's how it's supposed to look like. Scalar multiplying with matrix. So for example, that's my A, and the question is asking find 5A. This means multiply 5 with the matrix A. Like each element multiply with the 5. So the way you're going to write it, it's going to be 5 first and then the matrix. Don't do the matrix and then 5 over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's multiply this and we get the answer. The answer is in green. 5A equal. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So that's my resulting matrix with the scalar 5. Now, we also supposed to know about triangle scaling. So what is triangle scaling? Triangle scaling works. So we're going to find out that. Each column represents a vertex. Remember that. Each column represents vertex of the triangle. So for example, I have a triangle matrix T equal 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 2, close. Now always remember I said each column represents vertex. Look, that's my first column. Vertex, which means that's my X, that's my Y. So this is X, that's a Y. That's a X, that's a Y. That's a X, that's a Y. So these are my 3 vertices for the triangle. So let's draw a triangle over here. I have a 0, 0, which is right there. I have 3 and 0. So 1, 2, 3 and 0. That's a 3, 0. 0 and 2, 1, 2. That's a 2 and 1 vertex is over here. So when I draw a line, that's how it's gonna go. That's my triangle. There you go. That's the triangle. So the question is find 2t. What does that mean? 2 is a scalar. I'm multiplying 2 with each element of the triangle, and then I'm gonna graph it over here. So let's figure it out, all of that. So I'm multiplying 2 with the matrix T. 2, 0 is 0, 2 times 3 is 6, 2, 0 is 0, 2, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 2 times 2 is 4. So that's my resulting matrix for 2t. Now if I graph this, 0, 0 goes here, 6 and 0, that's 6 is my x value, 4, 5, 6. That's my 6 is a x value, and 0 goes here. 0 and 4, that's 0. And I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's a 4. So connect the dots. Connect all the dots. Do you see the triangle is bigger than the green one? because we multiplied by 2. We doubled the vertices. So that's how the triangle scaling goes. Now let's go. That was about the scalar multiplication. Now let's do how to multiply two matrices. So I am multiplying two matrices, and I'm going to start directly with the example. I have an example here. Let's do multiplication. Example is, I have a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and it's multiplying with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So how do we multiply? Like, for example, if you guys remember addition and subtraction matrix, we figured it out if the matrices are the same sizes. If they have the same size, then adding and subtracting works. But how do we do in multiplication? In multiplication means I'm gonna show you what is the size of this. 1, 2, 3. Row goes first. So I got 3 rows times 1, 2 column. 3 by 2. So that's the size. 1, 2 rows. And the columns are 1, 2, 3. So here we go. Now how do we know this matrix multiplication, both matrices multiplication is going to work? This is the row, that's the column, that's the row, that's the column. The first number is always a row. So this is called inner column, this is called inner row. If the inner column and inner row are exactly the same number, it means we can multiply the two matrices. What is the 3 and 3 means? That's the outer row and outer column. These 3 and 3 is going to give me the resulting matrix. What is the resulting matrix means? 3 by 3. For example, when I multiply these two matrices, the result is going to be 3 by 3 because that's 3 by 3. So what is the size? 3 by 3. The resulting size of these two matrices multiplication is 3 by 3. So the inner column row gives you that multiplication is going to work. If these two numbers are different, then you're going to say it's undefined because the multiplication is not going to work. So now this is 3 by 3 result. I should have it when I multiply this. Now there is a rule for multiplication, and guys pay attention here. How do we multiply? Let me erase that because we really need a big matrix because I want to show you everything there. And this is supposed to be 3 by 3. Okay, let's start. Pick 1 and 2, it's a row, the first row, and multiply with the column. Row with the column, multiply. How do we do it? 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. But how do we do it? We add. Since this is multiplication, we add. So that's my first one. Then I have the same row, the first row, and I'm multiplying with this column. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 6 is 12. This is what I got for the third one. Second one, that's the third one. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14. That's another one. There you go. That's how you do the multiplication. So let's use a different color. Now I'm multiplying 3 and 4. And with the same thing, it's going to go something like this. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4 times 5 is 20. Then again, it's going to multiply with this. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 6 is 24. 3 times 4 is 12. 7 times 4 is 28. There. And you guys can tell 3 by 3 but I need one more row, then it's going to be 3 by 3, which we have it. So let's do this color, 5 and 6. I'm going to go 5 and 6 first. This one, 5 times 2 is 10, 5 times 6 is 30. Then with this one, 5 times 3 is 15, 6 times 6 is 36. Then I have that one, 5 times 4 is 20, 7 times 6 is 42. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is what I got so far. If I made a mistake somewhere in addition or in a multiplication, please fix it. Now I am getting the final answer. 2 plus 10 is 20, 15, 18, that one is 26, that's 33, 8, 9, 10, and 3, 4, so that's 40, 10 and 30 is 40, 6, 5 and 5, 10, 11, so I got 11 and 4, 5, 51. Then this one is 2 and 6, 62. So that's my resulting matrix, the multiplication. So that's a multiplication matrix that I have. Okay, let's go for the next one. Example. I have 1, 2 matrix times 3, 4, 5, and 6, and they want me to multiply. Okay, I have to check if the multiplication or the matrix size is okay. This is row 1, row 2, so 2 by 1 column, 1, 2, 2 rows and 2 columns. So if you guys check, the inner and inner row and column are not the same, which means one is not equal to. So this one is not working. Next example. Okay, the question is asking, what are the dimensions of the product? So what are the dimensions, like 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4? What is the dimension? What are the dimensions of the product? So I have two matrices, 2 and 1, 0 times 1, negative 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, so let's figure it out first if the size is okay. So what are the dimensions they said? So this is 1 row in 3 columns. This one is 1, 2, 3, 3 rows in 3 columns. 3 rows in 3 columns. The multiplication is gonna work. Look, 3 exactly the same numbers. So the multiplication is gonna work. What is the resulting matrices? 1 by 3. So it's supposed to be 1 row in 3 columns. Okay, let's try multiplying matrices. We already know how to multiply. Now let's try matrix transformation. Matrix transformation. Like transformation means like reflecting across y-axis, reflecting across y-axis, reflect across y equal x, like linear line, and reflection across y equal negative x. So these are the 4 transformations that we're going to talk about. So the transformation is, for example, I have a t 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 2. That's my T matrix. And the question is asking, okay, I'm going to draw a triangle because this is a triangle. 0, 0, this is X, that's a Y, remember that. That's X and this is Y. So 0, 0, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0 and 0, 2, 1, 2. So that's my triangle that I have from this matrix. A question is asking, what happens, see what happens to the triangle vertices when multiply by the given matrix. Okay, there are few rules for this transformation. Like I said, I'm going to write those rules over here, and I'm going to write it in red up here. The first one is, if we have a reflection across y-axis, then the matrix that we use for multiplication, it's always going to be -1, 0, 0 and +1. This is the matrix when you multiply the another matrix, like for example this one, then it's going to give me reflection across y-axis. Then we have another one which is reflection across x-axis. And that matrix is going to be 1, 0, 0, -1. 1, 0, 0, -1. So that's reflection across y-axis and axis and so forth. We're going to do the other ones later. Okay, now I'm going to do one more example for the multiplication, and then we're going to try identity property. So let's do just a multiplication example for this matrix transformation. So I'm going to do the transformation and it's in different color. For example, my transformation, that's my reflection across y-axis. So that y-axis is -1, 0, 0, 1 times 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 2. So when we get the result, this is how it's going to work. And this is multiplication, remember that. So pick the first row and multiply each of the column. So I'm going to go -1 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is +0. So that's what I got from here. Then I have -1 times 3 is -3 plus 0 times 0. -1 times 0 is 0, -1 times 0 is 0, 0 times 2 is 0 again. Then next one, I have this one and I'm multiplying with that. 0 times 0 is 0 plus 0. Then I'm multiplying with this. 0 times 3 is 0 plus 1 times 0 is 0. Then I have 0 and 2. 0 times 0 is 0 plus 1 times 2 is 2. So this is my resulting matrix. Let's fix it around. 0, -3, 0, 0, 0, and 2. So that's my resulting matrix with the reflection across y-axis. So I'm going to graph this. 0, 0 is my one pair. You know that's a x, that's a y. -3 and 0. So I got 1, 2, 3. -3 and 0. And then I have a 0 and 2 right there. So look, this is the reflection across y-axis. So we can tell. So this is how the transformation is gonna go. Please make sure that you memorize the reflection across x-axis matrix and the reflection across y-axis matrix. So if you guys have any questions on this, Please make sure that you comment below and I will try my best to answer.